line with this week's, or is it this month's theme? This week's theme of great leaders, I'd like to tell you a story, an inspirational story called What Do Teachers Make? And it goes like this. The dinner guests were sitting around the table discussing life. One man, the CEO, decided to explain the problem with education. He argued, what's a kid going to learn from someone who decided his best option in life is to become a teacher? He reminded the other guests what they say about teachers. Those who can do, and those who can't teach. To stress his point, he said to another guest, you're a teacher. Susan, be honest. What do you make? Susan, who had a reputation for honesty and frankness, replied, you want to know what I make? I make kids work harder, even harder than they ever thought they could. I make a C+ feel like the winner of a Congressional Medal of Honor. I make kids sit through 40 minutes of study hall in absolute silence. You want to know what I make? I make kids wonder. I make kids question. I make them criticize. I make them apologize and mean it. I make them write, and I make them read, read, read. I make them show all their work in math, and I make them perfect their final drafts in English. I make them understand that if you have the brains and follow your heart, and if somebody ever tries to judge you based on what you make, to pay no attention because they just didn't learn. And so Susan paused, and I continued. You want to know what I make? I make a difference. What do you make?